Here at GRP Solutions, we put great people at the heart of everything we do. We want to always ensure you're kept up to date with health and safety information so that you can remain safe on site at all times. We've prepared this video to highlight some key areas that you need to be mindful of, whether you're new to the company or if it's time for a refresher. We all have a legal obligation to keep ourselves and others safe. Please also refer to the Health and Safety Notice Board. Let's begin with some general housekeeping. High visibility jackets and steel toe cap work boots are essential in order to prevent injury in the warehouse, as well as making sure that you have had proper training before manually handling heavy objects. Mobile phones are prohibited in the warehouse environment, as is the consumption of food and drink. There is strictly no access to the Agilon system and the freezer without proper authorization, as these environments pose potential dangers. The agreed walkways to the warehouse office are along the M aisle next to the production area or along by the Agilon machine. It would be even safer if pedestrians were to walk around the yard or make contact with the warehouse office via telephone or walkie-talkie. It's important to be aware of any hazards and be proactive in dealing with them. For example, if you spot a punctured container that's causing a hazardous spill, make other individuals aware of the situation and utilize the designated drum spillage well to transport the container. Appropriate PPE should be worn when dealing with spills and ensure disposal procedures are followed. The same mindset should be applied in other scenarios, such as proactively limiting trip hazards that you may spot. Loose package wrapping and other waste should be correctly disposed of, ensuring all pathways are clear throughout our building. Never store packaging or pallets next to fire vaults or the building. Now it's time to review some general health and safety points. When loading and unloading goods from lorries using the ramp, make sure that all staff and drivers are kept at a safe distance. Never start the unloading process until the safety chocks and chains are in place. Warning strips should be placed on ramps when not in use to stop people walking into them, and also when goods are being loaded and unloaded. Forklifts can be dangerous when they aren't used safely. Drivers should sound their horns when turning corners and entering or exiting the doorways to warn team members working on foot. When operating a forklift, don't assume that you are safe while inside. It is a legal requirement to wear a seatbelt. Make sure you know how to fasten and use any accessories in advance of using them on a forklift, such as the cage or drum spillage well. You should prevent storing certain substances, like powders, at height. If these fall, they can create hazardous dust clouds, which are harmful to health. The packaging of all substances should be taken into consideration. Be mindful of loose boxes that may fall out of their pallet batch if the wrapping has loosened. These may pose a danger, especially if they are stored at height. Loose and odd numbers of drums should only be stored above B level in the racking if they have been wrapped or secured. Some products leave little clearance between them and the racking. Extra care should be taken when putting this stock away. Climbing on the racking is prohibited. Make use of the machinery instead. Although we house hazardous goods, if they arrive undamaged in their original packaging, they should remain safe. Our biggest risk is creating a fire. Let's first go over some fire prevention steps. Fire vaults should always be used when dealing with extremely flammable goods. Ensure products are stored correctly in the fire vaults. Less flammable goods also pose a risk if handled incorrectly. In the decanting area, take care not to mix incorrect or reactive chemicals together, as this can pose a gas or fire risk. While you aren't on the warehouse floor, there are other risks to be aware of. Don't cover electrical heaters found in break or meeting rooms, and there is no smoking permitted on the premises at any time. In the event that a fire may occur, you should know how to respond to the situation. If you aren't already informed, learn who your fire marshals and first aiders are. They will be responsible for the evacuation and will give you instructions to follow. In all cases of the fire alarm being activated, you should calmly make your way to the fire assembly point. If you are responsible for hosting any on-site visitors and the notice is given to evacuate, calmly look after your guests and ensure they follow you safely to the fire assembly point. In the case that you are in proximity to a small fire, fire extinguishers are readily available. It is crucial that you only use these if you are fully trained and confident in doing so. Otherwise, evacuation is your priority. The fire assembly point is located here, at the front gate. Make sure you familiarise yourself with the location, as this will be where your fire marshal evacuates you to. While it's good to be proactive, you should also be aware of how to react and respond in case of accidents. Take the time to note the locations of first aid stations, fire alarm buttons, and fire extinguishers, which you can see on this floor plan. There are procedures in place to safely host on-site guests. If you are hosting, these are the steps to follow. Be sure to signpost our visitor car park to them in advance of their visit. On the day, it is essential that they sign in and are given a lanyard and high-vis jacket. This is to make sure that they are registered as on-site in the event of an emergency and to keep them safe on the warehouse floor. If you are bringing them into the warehouse, instruct your guests to remain inside of the yellow barriers, unless told otherwise, as machinery is operating in the area. Remember, you are responsible for your guests' safety. Take care to minimize the risks and ensure a safe visit. This information is for your safety as well as your colleagues and any guests. Thanks for helping us keep you safe, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask a member of the Health and Safety team.